Hello guys, this is Zuma, and this is going to be a bit of a more relaxed commentary style than my tips and tricks videos. And what this is going to be about is just my history of gaming and how I got into first person shooters. Because you may have watched my tips and tricks videos and gone, who is this guy telling me to go here on free for all? And I know my channel really isn't the biggest, but I'm growing at a steady rate, and I feel like now I should just do a bit more of a personal commentary, talk a bit about who I am, how I got into gaming, and how I got into Call of Duty. So I'm David, I'm 28, and I'm from the UK. Why does it always sound like you're an Alcoholics Anonymous or something when you say stuff like that? So that's out of the way, onto the gameplay. Why am I showing you Black Ops? I'm showing you this gameplay because Black Ops was my first ever Call of Duty. And that surprises some people just because they see how quickly I've adapted to the game. But you'll see over the course of the videos how some games I've played might have helped me pick Call of Duty up very quickly. So I started playing Black Ops in February and it already came out in November, so I already was 3 months behind everybody else. And this gameplay you're watching now is me at 2 months. And where I am at this point, I think I was just changed to tactical from default, and I've just raised my sensitivity a little bit. And you'll see, because my aiming's a bit off, and I fire a bullet and seem to reload every single second. That's what I used to do when I first started playing COD. I used to fire one bullet, reload, kill someone, reload. And it used to do my head in, but luckily I forced myself out of that habit quite early on. Right, so what I'm going to go into is, why did it take me so long to play Call of Duty when it seems like everyone's been playing it for ages? To explain why, I'm going to go to like the beginning of my first ever first person shooter, which was GoldenEye for the Nintendo 64. Now, some of you won't remember this, some of you will, some of you might not have been alive when this came out. I think it was 1997 it came out. And this game holds a special place in my heart, mainly because I think it was the first ever like first person shooter I played. But at the time it was like everybody I knew was playing this game. Nice. He's having a good time. And this game actually saved me from ever getting a paper round because I was pretty good at it and we used to actually play people for money. By very good I just don't mean like the best out of my friends, but the best out of other schools as well. What it is because back then there was no multiplayer, we can go online and then you can just play against your friends. And I really wish they had like a world leaderboard like they do now in Call of Duty, just to see how good I was. I might have reached my peak actually when I was 13 years old on first person shooters, who knows, but to actually play against people, they had to come round to your house. And I was like one of the best in my school, obviously from playing people I knew. Let's say someone else was the best in their school, then they'd come round to my house and then we'd play each other. But then we'd play each other for money. And like, it's quite weird when they knocked on the door with the control pad. My mum answers the door and she's like, "Oh David, your friends are here." And one of the kids was like, "I'm not his friend." Obviously because he heard stories about me, I'm pretty good at the game. He was just there to kick my ass at GoldenEye and take my money. And we'd only play for like £10, but you're 13 years old, £10 was like a week's wage for a really good paper round. But for just playing for fun with your friends, you could really play around with the settings just to make the game more fun. Like could everyone have like a paintball gun, you could make everyone tiny, move really fast. And then there was like a Donkey Kong mode as well, where all the guards were like distorted to resemble Donkey Kong. So for me, I look back on this game with like really fond memories. And I remember reading that 8 of the 9 developers have never worked on a video game before. And also that the multiplayer was never supposed to be in the game, it was like a last edition. So I just think all these like unique circumstances brought together just makes this game even more special, and just looking back over my gaming history, I have most fond memories of playing this game. But there was another game I was playing alongside GoldenEye, and these were the only 2 like main games I played on the N64, apart from Pilot Wings, which, you know, we just won't talk about. But the other game was Mario Kart 64. Wow, what a game. Just saying it makes me smile, it was that fun to play. It was just so bright and colourful, and the sounds and the going over those multicoloured question marks, and it goes through like banana, star, red shell, and it makes those funny sounds and stuff. And Mario Kart was one of those games where even if you lost, you ended the game laughing, because usually someone would hit you with one of those like homing red shells like 2 foot off the finish line, and you'd shoot up in the air and then they'd take over you and win. It was just so like fast paced and fun and epic, and it's an amazing game to play. But talking about all these games made me quite nostalgic, so I went onto eBay to see how much Mario Kart 64 would be. £20 they wanted. 20. What the hell? I guess it's all classed as retro gaming now, so the price has just gone sky high. But GoldenEye and Mario Kart was the main games I used to play on the Nintendo 64. And that brings us to the end of this console. So right, on to the next one, which is the Sega Dreamcast. And I was about 15 years old when the Sega Dreamcast came out, and I wasn't really into gaming at this point, mostly because, you know, I was into like girls and just going out and having a good time, meeting new people, and gaming sort of took a back seat. But I only used the Dreamcast for one game, and it was Unreal Tournament. And this was the first person shooter that introduced me to Capture the Flag, Team Deathmatch, Domination, and this game was brought out in 1999, so that was 4 years before the first Call of Duty. And I never played this game against like other players. I always played it solo because the AI system was really challenging. You could go like on a single campaign where it was just you against the AI, like a 1v1. And as you went up over 15 levels, like the opponents got progressively harder. And this game's set in the future, so you have railguns, plasma rifles, flat cannons, and you had two different fires. You had primary fire and your secondary fire. And your primary would be like a high power beam, and then like your second would be like these bursts. And it had like mini tack inserts. They looked like bouncing betties where you just chucked a disc and it had like a little flashing red light on. And you used to spawn there when you die. So it was pretty good. And check that spawn out. Good to know nothing's changed in 13 years. But Unreal Tournament has the best map on any first person shooter game I have ever played. And this map is called Facing Worlds. And this map was actually the first time I've ever gone, wow, just at the graphics. And I know it doesn't look like much, but going from like GoldenEye graphics to this was just insane. And this was a capture the flag map, and each flag was in one of the temples. And if you had low gravity on, you could jump from one temple all the way to the other. It was crazy, and as you're jumping, you can fire people below you and stuff. It was just, it was awesome. And just listening to this music in the background is just making like the hairs on the back of my neck just stand up a little bit, just because it's just really strange, like how long ago I played these games, yet the memories start coming back like you've just played it yesterday. So that's the end of Unreal Tournament and my time on the Dreamcast. And when I'm talking about these games, I see a lot of similarities in how people talk about COD 4, like how pure and simple it was with the kill streaks and just the hit detection and just how the game was overall. And it's strange because even if you're playing like a new version of the game, playing Modern Warfare 3, although the graphics might be better and you know they spent more money on it, but it's not going to mean as much to you as COD 4 just because of what it meant to you at that certain point in your life. And it's going to take one hell of a Call of Duty to try and surpass that. So guys, we're coming up to the end of part 1, and the reason why I put it into 2 parts was just to get through everything. It was going to be about a 20-minute video, so it just made sense to split it up over 2 parts and make sure I cover everything. Because the next part's going to contain PS2 games, why I got an Xbox just for one game, how I finally got a PS3, who talked me into playing Call of Duty, and what was like in my first ever game playing, about my clan experience, and how I think I'm going to progress into Black Ops 2. So all that's going to be in part 2, which is going to be up next Friday. And the reason for the gap is that just gives me some time to work on the video and just bring it up to this quality and make it awesome for you guys. And there's 20 seconds to go, why call in the dogs? Oh dear. And you've also got the last round of this demolition game to look forward to as well. It's about 6 minutes long. So that's it guys, end of the video. Really hope you enjoyed this episode and hope it brought up some good memories for you. And let me know in the comments, what's your gaming history, you know, what were the first person shooters that you played? That'll be always interesting to see. So if you stayed here all the way to the end, then thank you, I'm glad I entertained you for this long. And if you're looking to watch any more gameplays, there should be some on the screen after this video. And that's it guys, thank you for watching and take care.